I think anyone who is considering going on reality TV, where the premise is to follow your family and you have children, you need to watch Gwen Brown's YouTube reaction videos, or Jill Duggar in Shiny Happy People, or Collin Gosselin in Vice's Dark Side of the 2000s. Former TLC families have been in the news recently with stories of the children speaking out regarding how miserable filming was for them and the mistreatment they endured at the hands of their own family. How much culpability should fall on the network for the exploitation of children when legally they cannot enter into any of these contracts on their own behalf? Gwen has been reacting to the early seasons of Sister Wives, which started filming when she was a young child. Now that she is in her 20s, she is confronting the choices she was never given as a child. It is eye-opening and insightful. We have a lot to talk about. Let's get into today's video. Hey everyone, what's up? It's Sarah and welcome back to my channel. Before we jump into today's topic, let's hear from this video's sponsor. I am so excited to talk to you about the sponsor of today's video, Green Chef. Green Chef helps me eat clean and live a healthy lifestyle. Green Chef is the #1 meal kit for eating clean with dinners that work for you, not the other way around. Find a variety of options to support your lifestyle goals. All of the food comes well organized in these little kits, which is super convenient. They send nutritionist approved recipes that are good for you and packed with flavor, so I don't have to worry about meal planning or grocery shopping. I love it. Eating well does not have to be boring. Satisfy your cravings for exciting, flavorful meals made nutritious. I love to cook, and as new parents again, hauling the family out to a restaurant is not something that I always want to do. Green Chef allows me to get creative in the kitchen without excessive waste or time spent figuring out what I'm going to cook. I made these chicken and bell pepper quesadillas for my husband and I, and holy moly, the flavors were incredible. Another bonus, this all came together in about a half an hour. Green Chef is now owned by HelloFresh and offers even more meal plans to choose from. I love switching between brands when my tastes change or when I want to eat a little differently. Now my viewers can enjoy both brands at a discount with me. Use my code realiteasquad50 to get 50% off plus free shipping. Go to greenchef.com for more details. Again, that's realiteasquad50 to get 50% off plus free shipping. Thank you, Green Chef, for sponsoring this video. Jon and Kate Plus 8, 19 Kids and Counting, Sister Wives, reality TV show families that became tabloid fodder for their off-camera antics. Jon and Kate are still engaging in one of the world's messiest divorces over 10 years after they first announced they were separating. 19 Kids and Counting and the whole Josh Duggar of it all. And now Kody Brown, the self-described friendly neighborhood polygamist, is suffering public dumping after dumping, one wife at a time. What do all of these families have in common? A shit ton of kids. And what are kids? Really expensive. All of these families dip their toes in the reality TV pool by first participating in specials on the Learning Channel. As a parent, I get the desire to ensure that you have the financial resources to provide for your family. But there is a line. Once the money starts rolling in instances of the Gosselins, the Duggars, and the Browns, the children's best interest took a backseat. And maybe not even a backseat. I'm not even sure the children's best interests were even allowed in the trunk. Several seasons and several family scandals later, it becomes crystal clear that money takes a priority to any of these kids' well-being.
How does the show go on? The show must go on.
Even Kate's own family believes the show should end.
They're being exploited. And it's time for America to see the situation for what it really is.
The show must go on, really?
You've got 8 really young kids at an age where you could not possibly consent to being suddenly on a reality show.
This clip is from Vice's Dark Side of the 2000s about the Goslins, but it could easily apply to each of these famous families. All of these families got famous off of viewers' curiosity with the sheer number of children in these families.
Sister Wives wouldn't really be anything without the kids. Like, who would watch this?
You had no choice in the fact that 4.4 million people watched your wedding.
It was the highest rated show at that time.
The women and girls in this family, they are really the draw of that show. When they have more babies, that's how they get a lot of their viewership.
Kate Gosselin is the type of parent only Jim Bob Duggar can understand. Both of them put their own children's mental, emotional, and physical well-being at risk to secure a paycheck. And arguably, TLC did not do their due diligence to at least ensure that the kids were protected by labor laws.
The issue of work permits had been a big consideration that people have thought about. Are they being exploited illegally to be on television?
The state opens an investigation into the show for possible child labor violations, though the case is ultimately dismissed.
Or to ensure that when they paid a family and locked members of that family into contracts, that there wasn't a whole bunch of fuckery afoot to get that contract signed.
The day before we got married, I signed a contract. I just saw the signature page. It was like on the end of the kitchen table, like, hey, I just need you guys to sign these. We're literally running through the kitchen, and it was like whoever you could grab on the way through. Like, I didn't know what it was for.
What we found out later was that it was a commitment of your life for the next 5 years.
They had their negotiations. They had their business meetings. It just wasn't with us.
It would be one thing to be able to claim ignorance if you're TLC. Like, oh, I had no idea your dad wasn't paying you. But when you have some of the cast coming to you and telling you that they aren't getting paid, and you say, tough shit, we paid your dad, I don't know, that seems like it could end up landing them in legal hot water one day. It should at least garner a certain amount of backlash to which they don't do contracts like that anymore. One can only hope. Based off of what we've seen in these two documentaries, I think it's very clear that children on reality TV need to be protected the same way child actors are. And those laws are not perfect by any means, but we have to start somewhere. If the parents and the network have financial stakes in the kids being filmed, shouldn't there be laws or something to protect those who couldn't have legally entered into those contracts on their own to begin with? And this is the internal struggle we are now dealing with as viewers. How can we really enjoy watching the lives of these kids documented if we know that they are miserable and being mistreated?
Hunter's up in his room. I don't know what he's doing.
Oh.
He called me and he said, can I just please come over? I really would just like to hang out with you and hang out with Truly.
Just let him not want to. Don't question it. Just let it happen. Oh, I'm so tired of cameras being shoved in the kids' faces when really they just want like a second to breathe.
Gwen lamenting the fact that Hunter was not allowed privacy to just be a kid makes me feel so badly for all of these kids. This is why I think it is important to support these kids in their social media endeavors. I don't follow the Duggars as closely, but I know a lot of those kids have YouTube channels and are writing books, and the same with the kids in the Brown family. If they choose, and the key word here is being choose, to be in the public eye, I hope that they profit in any way they can.
Mention it all. Mention it all. Because you know what?
Now that more companies are doing exposés on some of TLC's most famous families, TLC is getting exposed themselves. The working conditions that led to a lawsuit with the Gosselins, to Jill Duggar exposing the fact that TLC knowingly paid Jim Bob out for labor she did, knowing he was not funneling that money down to the intended recipients. I think one of the things that gives us solace as Sister Wives fans is now that the family is broken apart yet still participating in filming, hopefully all of the adults at least have individual contracts with TLC. But TLC, if these kids are entire storylines on the show, like say a wedding or a birth, or here in episode 2 of season 18, it says we are going to follow Aurora on an ear-piercing journey. Pay these people separately. Insist on individual contracts so that these parents can't take advantage of the kids that they were given the solemn duty to protect. But I won't hold my breath because TLC is not above rebranding in the face of a scandal. Jon and Kate Plus 8 became Kate Plus 8 amid one of the messiest divorces we've seen play out so publicly. Kate's own family is saying her kids are being exploited, and she is just sitting there saying that the show must go on.
What are your feelings about how this series came to an end?
It's sad. It's needless. It's useless. It's totally avoidable.
The show literally does not need to go on. You don't need to ship one of your kids off to a behavioral institution because he's throwing off the aesthetic because he doesn't like to film.
But the Gosselin family drama is about to claim its first young victim.
It took a toll on me mentally. It was a really, really dark place. It was scary.
Jon and Kate Plus 8 minus Jon, carry the 8, but subtract a kid. I mean, this is becoming a math equation. What happened to Collin is so gross, and both Jon and Kate should be ashamed for everything that they subjected their children to. I know Kate purposefully kept Jon in the dark about Collin's location, and that is really unforgivable, but Jon has gotten down in the dirt and slung mud too. They both have a lot to atone to their kids for, in my opinion. In the wake of the Josh Duggar scandal of 2015, the first of many scandals to come for Josh Duggar, TLC decided it could continue to profit off of one of its top money-making families, but just tweak the show a little bit.
19 Kids and Counting was canceled, and the spin-off show Counting On took its place with a focus on the girls. I look at that kind of a thing as just further exploitation of the girls. They're doing this on the back of their own abuse stories.
Leave out Josh, focus on the girls, and even though the children are now adults, still agreed to pay them through their dad? What on earth? If you are a fan of these families because these kids stole your heart, I highly encourage you to follow them on social media if they are choosing to be public figures. I, for one, am thoroughly enjoying watching Gwen's commentary, and while she does confront hard moments of her childhood, she is also recalling really great memories that the show caught. And watching these now adults' YouTube channels or buying their books or subscribing to their Patreons means you are supporting these kids directly, which is a win-win-win all the way around. As always, let me know your thoughts. Is there a way to ethically feature the lives of families that capture the public's interest without exploiting the children? Make sure you like this video and subscribe to my channel, and check out my second channel, Sarah's Spills. A link for that will be in the description of this video. Follow me on Instagram, Threads, and Twitter at Reality Squad, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Take care. Have a good one. Much love.